Hey fam, what's good? What's good? I hope that you're well and keeping safe. Welcome back to another one. Hey, the NASDAQ have found itself dropping 3.20%, right? That is a lot. That is a lot. Right? So for this coming week is gonna be an interesting week. You know what? As tomorrow is the last day of the month, meaning we have a new week coming through, right? The first week, so we do have NFP coming through at Friday, right? So this week is going to be a jam-packed week when it comes down to the fundamentals, right? But let's look at the charts. Let's see what is happening over here. In the comment section, let me know how was your week of trading. Was it a good one? Was it a bad one? You know what? Are you finding yourself being neutral for this coming week? Because I'm going to find myself being quite neutral for this up and coming week. You know what? Being a little bit more cautious as we are finding ourselves having some conflicted data being released, right? The COT report has been showing us that our buyers has found themselves stepping within the market, but you know what, our shorts has been pushing price towards the downside, right? Quite a bit. And you know what, it makes perfectly sense as well, right? If we can see that dip back towards the downside, as we can look at the monthly time frame, we can see that we are having that higher low, higher high. And you know what, we need to find ourselves creating that actual higher low for the next potential move back towards the upside, right? Now many would consider that, you know what, this could potentially be the low for a further continuation move back towards the upside. And you know what, I won't find myself disagreeing with that, simply because I'm looking at two or more candles as a proper correction, right? And we can see that we are finding ourselves having some two huge candles towards the downside, right? So this can potentially be the correction for a further continuation move back towards the upside, right? Now, we still do have 1 day and 8 hours for this candle to find itself closing, right? And looking at structure, right? And looking at the way how I'm finding myself trading, I would consider us being bearish in market structure, right? Basically wanting to see a further continuation move back towards the downside if we are going to find ourselves having a closure below this candle right over here, right? Because this will basically indicate to me that we are finding ourselves creating an area of supply, right? An area of supply. Okay. And only when we are going to find ourselves having somewhat of a closure above this area, right? So basically something like this, if the next month's candle is going to find itself having somewhat of a push towards the upside and having that closure above, this is when we can say that, you know what, we are changing market structure back to back to bullish, right? Simply because then this area of supply would then turn into an area of demand for the further continuation move back towards the upside, right? I hope you all have an understanding of what I basically just made mention, right? So if we are going to find ourselves closing below this area throughout tomorrow, right, there is a possibility for us having that actual shift back towards the downside. Right now, like I made mention, we are having some conflicted data, right, saying that our bulls is finding themselves stepping within the market, or long contracts is being pushed within the market, right? So we can easily just see a fake out from this area as well, right? And that is why I'm gonna find myself being quite cautious when it comes down to price. All right, so looking at our weekly time frame, are you ready to take control of your financial future? Welcome to XM Brokerage, your gateway to the financial markets. When you sign up with XM, we're not just giving you a platform, we're giving you a boost. Enjoy a 100% deposit bonus to start your trading with a bang. That's right, double your investment. XM offers a diverse range of trading instruments to suit your strategy. Whether you're a seasonal trader or just starting out, you'll find something that match your interest. Our advanced trading platforms is designed to empower you with real-time data, customizable charts, and powerful tools. Trade with confidence and precision, knowing that you have the technology to support your every move. Ready to start off your trading adventure? Visit the link in my bio and remember your 100% bonus is waiting for you. Join us today and unlock your potential. Just to put it out there, when signing up, you are also finding yourself supporting our channel. So see you on the other side. Much love from me, your boy D. I'm out. On my weekly time frame, I'm just gonna refine my box just like that, right? Because this would ultimately serve as an actual BOB, which is also lining up within that monthly area of potential supply, right? So on a weekly time frame, we did find ourselves creating this BOB. So all I'm expecting price to do is just simply find itself, have a push within this area, and then have a further continuation move back towards the downside, right? And basically the exact same thing would happen if we can see price have a closure above this BOB. That will actually be great news, right? Because then that will simply mean that we can have this shift back towards the downside, turn this into an area of demand so that we can see a further continuation move back towards the upside, right? Don't forget, guys, listen, a few weeks ago I pointed out that this over here is basically my overall target to where I would like to see the NASDAQ find itself heading into, right? But as if now, can I say that we can hit into that area? No, right? Simply because we are bearish in market structure. In the way how I'm finding myself trading, I'm looking at market structure now as basically being bearish. All right, only if we can see a closure above, this is when I would be like, okay, cool, this is where we can see a further continuation move back towards the upside. Okay, so scaling to my daily time frame, knowing that my weekly time frame is bearish, so this simply means that my daily time frame would be bearish in market structure as well, right? And on the daily time frame, all I'm gonna find myself doing, once again, refine, right? Refine. And this area would now come through as an area of supply, right? Can you guys see, like, all these areas, they are basically lining up within each other, right? That is how I'm finding myself trading, right? All I'm doing is looking for areas lining up within each other. All right, so here we can see that we are having an area of supply, and we can simply see that, hey, we did find ourselves having some multiple lower, if I can maybe just get that brush right over there, we have found ourselves creating multiple swing lows inside this area, once over there, twice over there, and we find ourselves taking out those swing lows, right? So this simply means that we are changing market structure, and it will basically reflect better on the H4 time frame, right? So we are clearly bearish in market structure when it comes down to our daily time frame as well, right? And all I want to see price do is have somewhat of a push towards the upside and have somewhat of a potential shift back towards the downside. But if I want to know where can I potentially see price have a shift towards the upside into, I can grab out my Fibonacci, right? Can we grab out the Fibonacci just of yet? No, right? We can't. Why, D? Simply because we don't have that actual candle just of yet showing somewhat of a rejection, right? Showing us that we can have that shift towards the upside, right? So price can easily just find itself having a further dip back towards the downside. But as we are dipping towards the downside, this is where you can just simply find yourself adjusting your actual Fibonacci, right? But as we can see that, you know what, this previous gap we have found ourselves creating over here is also finding itself lining up within this beautiful premium area, right? And inside the premium area, do we want to find ourselves looking for some longs, or do we want to find ourselves looking for some shorts? We want to find ourselves looking for some shorts, right? Because price is basically expensive within this area, and we want to find ourselves taking advantage of price basically being quite expensive, right? So if I can maybe just give this a different color, let's make it like something like that, right? Just knowing that this is an area to where we can potentially find ourselves tapping into if we can see that rejection from this area, right? So that we can potentially find ourselves looking for some beautiful shorts from this area onwards, right? And obviously, if we can find ourselves having the shift towards the upside, you're gonna have to wait for somewhat of a rejection before looking for some shorts, right? And where will your targets be? Basically the lows that price will present, right? The lows that price will show you. All right, So let's see if there is any magnets below price to where we can find ourselves having our eye out on. All right. So looking at, let's point out this last down close candle right over there, which will serve as what? An area of demand or supply. Demand, right? I hope you all said demand. Now, in my previous session, right, enable for this to be an area of demand, what do we need to see on our lower time frame? We at least need to see, somewhat of a bob coming through within this area to make it an area of demand for us, or at least somewhat of a significant area, right? So let's scale to our H4 time frame and see within this area what is happening. Do we have somewhat of a bob lining up within this area? And can we see one? Yes, right there. Right over there we have a beautiful bob lining up, right? And if we can look at the swing lows, we have a beautiful low right there, lower low right there. We find ourselves creating a higher high. So this whole region over here will basically act as an actual breaker, right? And that's only for me, right? That's how I'm finding myself looking at price. Or you can find yourself looking at this whole region over here as one whole area of demand. Okay, so then you're gonna find yourself boxing it out just like that. Boom. Okay, just like that. And this is basically how I'm gonna find myself looking at it, because this will just simply be, if we can tap within this area, we are having somewhat of an actual push within the actual breaker itself as well, right? So they all line up. Some will find themselves looking at this as the bob, that as the bob, this over here as the actual the breaker, right? Or it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, all you have to find yourself doing is when price is going to tap within that area, you still need to wait for that rejection, right? You're not just simply going to find yourself pressing the buy button once we tap within that area. All right, so I'm gonna find myself giving this a light color as well. Boom, just to notify me that, this is a vulnerable area, if I can put it like that, right? To where price can find itself heading into, and where we can potentially have somewhat of an actual reaction from, right? Just like that. Boom. And this will literally be the areas I'm gonna find myself having my eye out on for this coming week, right? We do have that sell side liquidity coming through right over here. Hey, my apologies, y'all, but this will basically be my sell side liquidity, right? So after taking out sell side liquidity, we can potentially see us have that actual shift back towards the upside. And with us having that shift towards the upside, we can potentially have a further continuation push back down, wait for somewhat of a rejection, right? To potentially find yourself be looking for some upside momentum from this area onwards, right? Or if we are going to find ourselves just having that actual shift towards the upside from this area, look for some potential, a change in market structure before looking on taking price all the way back down, back into this region right over here, right? So I have two biases, and those are my two biases for this coming week. If we're going to see the shift towards the upside, I'm going to wait for a clean rejection so that I can find myself looking for some beautiful shorts, right? And if we are going to have a further continuation move back towards the downside, I'm going to wait for somewhat of an initial change in structure so that I can find myself looking for some beautiful long opportunities to find itself opening up, right? And it may not look like much, but if we are going to let's look at, if I can judge, this is the midpoint of this area, right? From there, it's literally around about 600 odd pips. From there, literally 700 plus, 800 plus, 900 plus pips, right? So there is a whole lot of playground within this area. So those are my outlook, or that is my outlook for this up and coming week, right? I would love to know what is yours for this up and coming week. Let me know in the comment section. Are you bull, are you bear, or are you just like me, finding yourself being quite neutral, right? Being quite cautious when it comes down to price, as we are seeing some hey, we seeing some different PA coming through, right? Is something up? Is something gonna find itself happening? Are we gonna experience somewhat of a black swan event or something, right? Quite interesting with just looking at what PA basically presented. And even if we are gonna look at the targets we find ourselves having, right? So last week we were basically looking at this area, and we had our actual target being smack. Target 2 was this region right over there, with target 2 being smack. Target 3 was there, and then this is our overall target. So we had some clean playground towards the upside from this area onwards. So now all we have to find ourselves doing is this is being cautious, right? And just look for that next potential shift back towards the upside, because I still want to see some bullish momentum coming through on the NASDAQ. All right, so I hope you all have a clear understanding of what I basically made mention. If not, let me know in the comment section, right? And please do trade safe for this coming week. It's me, your boy D. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. I'm out.